So I have dated 3 women in Medellin. Okay, here's one thing that they all have in common.
Well, check out that video. The man's basically saying that the social media and the flaunting of women online has made passport bros undesirable for some good women, the good women in Medellin.
You see, he gets it. This is a person who understands what I'm talking about. Okay. Unfortunately, videos like his don't get a lot of traction because, like, he goes on later to say, he doesn't film stuff like being in the red light district, and that's what gets traction, and that's what gets a lot of clicks and stuff like that. People don't understand that not only Medellin, all of Colombia, we're starting to realize that a lot of these guys who are going to quote unquote to date are only going to looking for prostitutes, and they go to the red light district. And I know women in Medellin who will not allow themselves to even come close to a foreigner because of that, and that's a opportunity lost. See, people think that I am some type of like dating police, which I'm not. You can come to Colombia, look for love and stuff like that, but it's very frustrating when you're trying to invite your friends to show them about Colombia and Medellin and everything else. I'm not from Medellin, by the way. All right. That's a different type of group of people, but we'll get into that later on. And the first thing that you look on when you turn on the computer is how to get a big booty white girl, or I'm sorry, how to get a big booty Latina is something like that. That looks terrible. And I know many people in Medellin who they refuse to go by El Poblado, Laureles, the areas that are congregated by a lot of foreigners, because they have a bad reputation of going there only looking for the sex word, right?
Everyone's not looking to go to the red light district, but I guess maybe that's what gets the most attention and the girls and all that. And of course, the guy who, as he mentions, is with the girl's family in their house eating, or at a restaurant with the girl and her family, or in a church. No one sees or hears about them.
100%. See, the thing is that people need to realize, if you're a foreigner coming to Colombia, because it is a different culture, let me give you a little tip. When you really date someone, you date her family. Okay, none of this nonsense where you're putting them online or they're dancing around and shaking their butt and boobs and stuff like that. No. Okay, my father would never allow that for my sister. And when my sister was dating, because she dates other Latinos, okay, she dates Mexicans, and other Latinos are just the same. I don't want to hear anybody else that is. Most Latinos are very much the same. Okay, when you date us, you date the family. When my sister started dating, she went and took my father, and my father had dinner with the boyfriend and the boyfriend's family, and the parents got a chance to know each other. When I was dating my ex-girlfriend, whom I showed before on my channel, she's from the northern coast, okay, by the beach area in the Caribbean. I'm from the mountains, the Andean region, okay, the Cauca Valley. My father's side of the family is from Cali, all right. I met her. I had to meet her family. I had to meet her father, who's a very strong black man, because I like to say that with all pride, because people like to call me racist, who's a soldier. And he stood up in front of me, and with his arms bent, he goes, "Who are you and what do you want with my daughter? I will not tolerate long-term relationship. If you're going to be a boyfriend for her for more than 6 months to a year, I want you out." And he told me that he was a boxer, which he is. He did not lie. And he was an ex-soldier. He did not lie. I met her grandma. I met her grandfather. I met her cousins. I met her third cousins and everything else. All right. And when we will go out as a family together on a date. None of this nonsense where you meet a girl in Parque Lleras and you take him for a date, quote unquote, to your place. It is not happening like that. If you really date, you're going to be dating her family, and you have to deal with the local culture. It's just to let you know, each region of Colombia is a different culture. I had to accustom myself to her culture, and she had to accustom to my culture. We use different dialects. We use different words. We use different ways. We have different music. And even though she is a Colombian and I am a Colombian, it was hard work. I lasted 5 years with her, by the way. All right. Each region of Colombia is like a different culture in itself. So if you're gonna go to Colombia and date, you're gonna be dating the family. None of this nonsense stuff like about going on a date and taking her back to your room and beers and couple. No, that's not it. You guys, the ones who do that, they're going there for street workers. That's what they're doing. Oh, just to let you know, if I were to flaunt my ex-girlfriend like these passport bros do, oh my father, ex-father-in-law, he's not really father-in-law, we just call him that out of endearment. My ex-girlfriend's father, he will come after me and he will beat me up. Like he has no qualms about it. Like you don't do that. The girls that do that is because they're working. Okay, they're working. That's what they do. But real women, real Colombian women, don't do that. If I were to do that, not only will her father come after me, but my own parents will come after me. My own brothers will come after me. My cousins will come after me. That's not considered something cool. As I was filming this, one of my brothers just passed by me and he said, "Yes, we do. We will come after you." Well, like literally, when I'm filming, right behind this camera, a brother of mine just passed by and he goes, "Yes, we will come after you." Just to let you know, this is how Colombians are. People need to understand. If you go to another country, you have to understand your culture.
Just go that way. It's unfortunate, but uh, what can you say, man? Social media is big, and people are getting a lot of clicks and views just on guys walking up to working girls and getting their WhatsApp number.
You hit the nail on the head. People do that for clicks and views, and people get the wrong idea, and have seen foreigners get into trouble like that. I have seen foreigners get into trouble like that. They think they can walk up to women and ask them for the number. There's a very popular YouTube traveler now that he first started out like that, kind of like filming women, creep camming, and all that kind of stuff, and all those type of things. Now he's just a world traveler, and he changed his content to be more family friendly. I saw him in Monteria, which is in the northern coast, and it's an area that is full of conservative militia groups. Okay, and this guy, he went up to a woman, a random woman, and he goes, "What's up? You got what's up?" And she just turned around and she looked at him all scared, because they don't get for tourists in that area, And he goes, "Bonita, bonita, pretty, 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 pretty woman." And he started walking behind her. She just jumped in the car and drove off. He's lucky. He's lucky that she didn't talk to somebody, because certain militia groups do control those areas better than the cops at times. And you don't want to get caught up in that situation, because it can get really sticky. Once again, that's not what reality is. Reality is, if you're going to find a good traditional woman, look, this is what a good traditional woman is from the Cundinamarca region. Let's say if you want to be in Medellin, the Paisa territory. Paisa is an ethnic group of farmers, okay? This is what traditional Paisa looks like, traditionally. Now look at this video. This is another Paisa. A Paisa is a farmer, a country person, country folk, who work in the fields, in the coffee fields of the coffee access region. Those are what Paisas are. Okay, and most guys will not go for that, because she's getting dirty and she's doing this and she's with the cows and everything else. But look, she can get pretty too. But the problem is that if you're gonna do that, she's not gonna sleep with you the very first night, and that's not what it's about. When you date a Colombian woman, and I'll tell you this for the third time, you will date her entire family. When I date Colombians, okay, I know what I have to deal with. I know that I have to meet the mom right away. I know that I have to meet the father right away. Okay. And this is not just a Colombian thing, this is a Latino thing. One of my brothers married a Salvadoranian woman. And you know what? When we went we went over to the family, because my family had to meet her family, and we ate together. Okay. Soon as his mother-in-law finished up making a plate, he picked it up. My brother picked it up and he walked over to the father-in-law and he gave it to him. And he also served him. How many of these passport bros are going to do that? And these passport bros do not understand that this is not going to be just a one-time thing. And when you bring her back to the United States, it's not going to know. It's going to be for the rest of your life. Are you willing to put yourself to go through that? Are you willing to invest in another culture? Because I'm telling you, one thing that the Colombians will not do two things that we will not do. Number one, we do not abandon our religion, and we will not abandon our Colombian identity. We eat, sleep, wake up Colombian. We wake up and we eat arepas. We will be listening to vallenato music, which is accordion music. These passport bros who look for a quote unquote traditional woman, be ready to hear this in the house all the time. And each region has a different type of music. And then when you have children, she will want her children to understand her Colombian culture. And then she will take her to folk dance classes, and they will learn to dance mapale. They will dance cumbia. They will dance San Juanero. They will dance torbellino. Are you ready for that? I'm not talking to you, but I'm just talking about these traditional passport bros. Since these passport bros are traditional wife, or do they think that they can bring the woman to the United States and then strip her away of all her Colombian identity? We will be listening to our local traditional dances and everything else. You will have family at your house 6 out of the 7 days of the week. There's no such thing as personal time. Okay, this can cause problems unless there's always that exception. Okay, there's always going to be an exception to the rule, but 9 times out of the 10, no, 9.99 times out of the 10, you're going to be living in a Colombian household, in a Colombian family, with her nephews inside your house, with her cousins inside your house, with her third cousins inside your house. Okay, with her calling her and talking to her family and her cousins all day long, every day on WhatsApp and everything else via video chat. If you guys cannot handle that, then don't date. And the ones who don't date, you guys are looking for sex tourism. That's what you guys are doing. Please listen to him. Go to his video. Look at what he says. I'm not the tourist. I'm not a tourist police. I'm not a dating police. But when you guys come in with unwanted behaviors, and you're bringing people to our country and they're doing unwanted behaviors, that's when we start having a problem. He said it. You don't see these videos of the guy eating with the family, going to church, eating, going out with them and stuff like that. When I went to the city of Cali and I was sitting with my cousin and her daughters and my cousins and her daughters, because we go like that, like 30 different people related to each other, third cousins, fourth cousins. I saw a couple. They came by and sat right next to us. 13 people just walked up, and he brought his mom and she brought her mom, and they had a group date. Are you really going to do that? Okay, Mr. Passport Bro, they flies in with a condom. No, you're not going to do that. Okay, now he said there's different levels to that. Some of them are sex tourists, some are not. I understand there's different levels, but the common passport bro is not ready for that. When you truly date a different culture, you're going to have to put up with it.
So you have to prove yourself to the woman. Don't be mad at the women for vetting you. You should be vetting them. The same way you ask her about her life, her past, her future, her goals. What's wrong with her asking you?
This guy is a mind reader. Like, listen, he basically talks about what I talk about. When I dated, not just my ex-girlfriend from, let's say, from the northern coast, I dated a woman from Pereira, which is a type of paisa, not just from Medellin, because there's different types of paisas, right? Imagine like when in the United States, when people say the word country, some people from Texas say they're more country. Some people from South Carolina say they're more country. Some people from Georgia say more country. And different paisas are arguing with each other who's more paisa, right? So I was dating a woman. She was an optometrist. She had her own business. She had a child that was a little bit older. And I'm not sure if you noticed by my balding head. Okay, I'm close to 50. Okay. And when I dated her, she took me to her friend's house, and I went through the 100 questions, and she vetted me. Okay, when he's talking about vetting, okay, she vetted me. And then I met her son, and her son had vetted me, and I had the 100 questions. And then I met her sister, and I had the 100 questions. And then I met her sister-in-law's ex, fiance, whatever, something like that, and I had the 100 questions. And then I met the grandma, and I had the 100 questions. And then she took me to her best friend's house, and then I had the 100 questions. And then I met her best friend's son, and I had the 100 questions. And then I met the best friend's daughter, and I had 100 questions. And then I went over to another house, and then I had the 100 questions from another best friend. It happens. When I met my ex-girlfriend, the one that I just came from, and I keep talking to her a lot about her a lot. Um, Second day, listen, I met the grandfather, the grandmother, the aunt, everything else, and I had the 100 questions. Each one of them literally took 20 minutes of me asking, so what are you going to do? And what do you do? And what do you plan to do with her? Okay, and what, you sure you like her? Do you come from a good family? You know, have you gotten in trouble before? Do you plan to take good care of her? She's our family. What do you plan to do when something bad happens? I hope you're not going to hit her. I hope you're not one of those type of people that we hear in the United States. Those are the questions that you will be having. Okay, and it will be repeated over and over, and every time you meet somebody, it's going to be the same thing. Oh, and what do you plan to do with her? Are you planning going to get married? When do you plan to get married? What church do you go to? Okay, and stuff like that. And they were Pentecostal, okay, and I'm Catholic, and Pentecostals are super anti-Catholic. All right, how do you know? Are you going to baptize a kid? Because we don't believe in baptizing kids and stuff like that. And I had to sit there and I had to defend myself and my religion and everything else. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that? And I've dated different types of Colombians. I've dated Colombians from the Pacific Coast. I dated Colombians all the way from the Guajira province, and who are Wayu, which is indigenous. Okay, and that's a whole different ball game right there. All right, I was a girl who was dating from the far south, and by the Ecuadorian border. Okay, her father was a cacique. Do you know what a cacique is? He's the head chief of the tribe. All right. I had met the father through video chat. I had met the brother through video chat. I had met the sister through video chat. All right, and that was a whole different ball game right there. And I had to go everything. I had 100 questions. Like at one time when we got serious, I was gonna fly all the way down there, and I was gonna go through their small ritual and stuff like that. Didn't work out. Are you guys willing to do that? And you got to understand, not every Colombian is the same. Not every Paisa is the same. Not every Bayuno is the same. Are you willing to go through all these different traditions? It has such a wide variety of different cultures and ethnicities. Okay? Sometimes from one town to the next, it could be a different culture. Are you willing to go through all of that? As if you're going to be a passport bro. And if you're going to be marrying her, you're going to be marrying the family. And you're going to be putting up with the family's problems. Okay? If you're not willing to do that, then don't do that. Has anybody ever seen that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding? When I said that and I was watching the movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and I said, oh my God, these people are Colombian. When the guy came up to visit her and date her and stuff like that, the uncles and the aunts are looking through the window, and the third cousins, and everybody's whispering and stuff like that. Is exactly it. And the whole neighborhood was littered with her family and stuff like that. Okay, Greeks, Italians, and people of Latin American descent were pretty much the same in that aspect. Different variations of that because some certain cultures are more conservative than others, but there's different variations of that. You will be dating the family. Are you willing to put yourself through that? I mean, this guy, he gets it. He gets it, you know? And I wish the passport bros will get that, because when you tell me, "Oh, I'm just going to Colombia for a traditional woman," and then you show me a woman with like with boobs and BBLs and stuff like that, no, bro, you got yourself a narco Barbie. You want to pretend like you are some type of cartel member, and that brings a lot of problems into your life, because those women, they attract a lot of problems from the Colombian society, not just from foreigners. If you made it this far, please check out Mervin Person's page. I don't know what his other videos are, but this one particular video, I found it particularly one that I liked. Usually for us people who are starting, and we don't try to make videos that are scandalous and everything else, we don't get much traction. But if anybody can go and see what it's like, and if you can support him, please like and subscribe. Please also like and subscribe for me. If you can, please also go to my YouTube channel, like and subscribe there to push the algorithm, so that way more people can reach my message. Because I'm just trying to talk about Colombian culture and show people what us Colombian thinks, because we have so many people that talk about Colombia, but they're not Colombians. You know, just like a few Colombians are saying, okay, it's nice and all that you're doing that, but it's good that you hear from us. Thank you very much, and you guys have a good night.